So maybe today we have a conversation about belief systems. Belief systems are what's motivating you every day. So whatever you believe, like whatever you believe you want, whatever you believe you can have, or whatever you can't have, will play out in your everyday behaviors. All right, let's look at the foundation of where belief systems come from. When you're born, you have trillions of neurons firing, and the imperative of the brain and the survival mechanism in your DNA is to guarantee your survival. So it's scanning your environment for, how to survive in that environment. So if you think of a spectrum between completely safe and completely unsafe, somewhere most people fall in somewhere on that spectrum. Your job today is to look at, first reflect on your history, because we have a memory system in our body, and that memory system is called the unconscious mind. All right. So when you understand that your whole body is the memory system, it'll make it much easier to unpack this whole subject that we're talking about. What you're wanting is, where do you start shutting yourself down in your business that's related to belief systems? And the way that you will find that is just to look at the results that you're getting. So right now, pull out a piece of paper and just make a list of the results you love on one side and the results that you don't like on the other side. The ones you don't like are a clue. They're a portal into the belief systems that are operating unconsciously that are causing you to get that result. Just think of it this way, that trauma, early life trauma, and when I say trauma, I mean developmental trauma. So let me give you an example of developmental trauma. If you're like constantly trying to get your needs met, and your mother, let's say your primary caretaker, your mom, let's just say it's the mom, doesn't understand what you need, and she misses over and over again. Like, she doesn't understand because she's not very skilled, or maybe her mom wasn't very skilled, or whatever happened there. You're going to start developing the belief that I cannot get my needs met, or that people won't understand me. That's where the problem is. All right. So it's completely correctable, but you got to know how to correct it. Otherwise, you'll keep getting the same result. One of the classic characteristics of trauma is recapitulation. That means we unconsciously repeat it over and over again, because the brain is trying to gain mastery. It's trying to fix it, but it doesn't know that it's in its own way. All right. We know that when you go into the pain rather than try to get away from it, the pain actually goes away faster. I saw a really cool post on TikTok, I think, a few weeks ago. And what the guy was sharing was that buffalo, which are native to this country, when there's a storm, they'll face the storm head on. And they know that the storm will eventually just pass. Whereas cattle, who were not originally, bred here, I mean, they were eventually bred, but they weren't native to this country. They run away from the storm, and they stay stuck in the storm longer. So we know that going into the experience rather than avoiding it through the fight, flight, freeze response. So think of fight is, you can get mad and angry and yell at people, or you can ask more questions about why they're thinking the way they're thinking, or why they have this certain perspective that they have, instead of getting angry. The flight response would be shutting down. Maybe you go numb. I remember once for the first time ever in my life, I got pulled over by a cop, and I just went numb. I literally just froze. And my wife at the time was like, 2 hours later, she's like, "Hey, are you there? What's going on?" And I could not believe that I got pulled over. It was like my body was just stunned. So that was a freeze response. And part of it had to do with this belief system that I had to be perfect. And now all of a sudden I was proven that I wasn't perfect by getting a ticket. All right. So that just stirred up all kinds of stuff in me. Well, the same thing is happening in your business. Like, if it wasn't happening, you'd be super wealthy or accomplishing everything you'd want to, but I guarantee you there's a belief system that's in the way, or many belief systems that you can unpack to remove those obstacles. But we need to actually understand what the portal is to go into and then untangle it from there. And it's actually very simple, but you need help doing it. My invitation is to reach out for some help, whether it's me or somebody that understands how belief systems work, so you can speed up your process, your progress in your organization, so you can be more profitable quicker and have complete control over this mechanism that I'm talking about. Because once you see how it works, it's unbelievable how fast you can move. My company in the last 4 years, I'm not making gobs and gobs of money, but it's progressively like $10,000. It's increased. And it's been through, in fact, last year I worked less and made a lot more. So you never know what it's tied to. But my point is that we know now how to get to the unconscious and how to resolve it. So many blessings. I hope that's useful. If you got questions, please place them below. Let's carry on a conversation about this. It'll help me to produce more videos that are more directly tied to what questions you might have. All right. Please subscribe. Please let your friends know about this channel. And it inspires me to want to create more. And overall, have an amazing day and go create something. Many blessings.